In 2020, a pandemic hit. The world changed, and so did our ways. There are many forms and styles of masks, but the basic one that you've most likely seen is disposable mask. It is made of paper, wire on the nose part, and then elastic behind the ear. These basic disposable masks are used by dentists and surgeons, and now everyone. I think that disposable masks are worse than reusable masks because they have many downsides. Today, I will inform you about these downsides and the impacts that these have on the environment. I will also cover how masks are needed for medical use more than general use, and how reusable are way more comfy. With just 7 months of disposing of these masks, we have created a lot of pollution. In an article written by Brian Urasitz, if he's going by historical data, that 75% of landfills and seas will be filled with disposable masks. With this uncontrolled disposing of these masks, it could result in major pollution. We need to avoid pollution, and we need to either dispose of correctly, or we need to give them or use them again, or give them to someone else we know if we have not used them. Disposable masks need to be used more for medical use. When people work in a nursing home and people work in clinics, they need to use a disposable mask every day. Whether they're using a reusable mask or not, they still have to wear a disposable one underneath, just because the bacteria touches it. When the general public buys all of these disposable masks, the supply and the demand completely switch, and we have way more demand than we have for supply. The disposable masks will cost you more money when the general public buys them, and it's not just hospital use. When we buy these, it leaves much less for the medical field, and then it creates a big problem. According to the FDA, the demand is so much higher than the supply for these PPE products that it has made record years. The high demand has caused some distributors to put an allocation on products so that it makes them stop and makes them be made at a slower pace. Now, to make it all better, let's talk about comfort. There are many types of masks, and one I think the best is reusable masks. You can wash them and you can rewear them. You can have these in bandana form, you can have them in the scarf that you pull up over your nose and mouth form, and they can be made out of many different materials. Some of these materials are tightly woven cotton, and there's a large abundance of this type of fabric because that is one of the main types of shirts made for higher end products. For regular t-shirt cloth, it works just fine, just sufficient enough, but it's still not as good as the tightly woven cloth. A scarf that you have in your closet that you don't need anymore works as well. We need to affect the world positively. And by having pollution and by reusing, and just as we used to say, and we still do say, reuse, reduce, recycle, we can recycle some masks. We can reuse all masks that are reusable, of course, and we can reduce the amount of disposables. Furthermore, this pandemic has really made an impact on us, but we don't want to make it an impact on the world itself. The environment is important. When we really think about it, you need to stay comfy in all this hard time.